Hey guys, TrueGreen7 here, and Pokemon are pieces of art. It's very simple to understand, and nobody has the same opinion on any form of art. That's just not how the human mind works, my friend. And just like I have Pokemon that I love, there are also Pokemon that I don't love. And in this video, I'm gonna finally count down the 10 Pokemon I like the least. But you need to know that I like almost every Pokemon. I even like the first 5 Pokemon you will see in this video. I only hate the number 2 and number 1 entries on my list, but I still don't believe that any Pokemon should be unanimously hated. Note that since I'm human, my opinions may very well change in the future, so please respect my current ones and enjoy the video. Here, have a puppy. In fact, never mind, that's my puppy. Why would I give you my puppy? Here, take this naked mole rat instead. Give it some sweet, sweet love. Number 10. Kentakun. This is the only Pokemon on this list based on personal in-game experiences rather than the Pokemon itself. I have no problem with Tentacool's design or concept, I think it's pretty neat. But considering I've done my fair share of surfing around Hoenn, I can most definitely tell you that this Pokemon deserves the nickname Zubat of the Sea. I think I've battled more Tentacools than any other Pokemon, and naturally when a water type appears, I send out a grass type. But it just so happens that a lot of my grass types have HP draining moves like Mega Drain. A knowledgeable Pokemon trainer would already see the problem. Liquid Ooze. This ability causes HP draining moves to injure the user. A lot of Tentacools have the ability, and for some reason I just keep on using Absorb against them. So the memory of having my grass types backfire against Tentacools leaves a little salty beef between us, and I do not like my beef salty. Number 9. Steelix. Haha, okay. Let me just say that this Pokemon is here because I used to hate him as a child. Like many other people, I think this thing is pretty cool. That doesn't mean he didn't haunt my dreams when I was young. I mean, look at his face. It's scary. He is far from the Pokemon I would like to see in real life. In fact, I was pretty terrified of his teeth and jaw, and the whole thing made me feel uncomfortable. It does not look friendly, and his head is also way bigger than it's supposed to be. But when I was 10, my grandfather gave me some money to buy Pokemon cards. The pack I bought had a holographic Steelix EX in it. A few months later, he passed away, so I began to cherish the Steelix card I got. Yeah, I got real on you guys. Now you have to give this video a like because I shared a sad and personal story, or else you're a meanie. But then again, Steelix always makes me think of my dead grandpa, and that's a good reason to put him on the list. Number 8. Claydol. Unlike Steelix, I never really grew out of my fear of Claydol. I can explain why this Pokemon makes me uncomfortable, but it won't sound rational. Like Steelix, I think this Pokemon is cool, but here's my problem. First, it has way too many eyes. It freaks me out. I know it's a dumb fear, I really do, but let's move on. I also think those beaks are unsettling. Again, I'm a guy with an irrational fear of animals with more than 6 legs, so I can't really justify the beak thing. And last but not least, it's mostly jet black with white accents, and for some reason, I'm afraid of that color combination. I don't know why. I may need help. If that thing showed up in the middle of the night, I'd lose it. Its origin is appreciated, but even when looking at fan-made Mega Evolutions for Claydol, I feel uncomfortable. Seriously guys, I want answers. Number 7. Granbull. I like the idea of this Pokemon, but I also don't. I hate how his fangs are part of his jaw somehow. It's unnatural, and I won't have this fairy in my house. It's a sin to have skin over teeth. I don't even know what's going on with his teeth, really. It's just too much for one guy to process. They could have just given him tusks, actual teeth in his mouth. Whatever. There's no reason to complain. Even though having a sissy bulldog Pokemon is cool, I just don't really care much for this Pokemon. Number 6. Sunflora. If you've seen my top 10 worst Pokemon designs video, you'd understand that I think this Pokemon's design is very unoriginal. It's just a flower with a face, and we have tons of those in every form of media, and it really rustles my jimmies that its design is never brought up. On top of that, it's not the best to use, especially in a main game journey. It's as appealing as any other flower with a face I've seen, but that's the extent of my appreciation for Sunflora. Number 5. Karnavine. Once again, its face is creepy. I don't have to explain why, and its lower body is weird. I'm allowed to have that opinion. It's that simple. I don't even know if there's any more to talk about. Do you want me to pick apart this Pokemon? I guess I'm not a fan of this particular shade of green. Those pupils are very bland. And I guess, yeah, I got nothing more. I just don't like it that much. Number 4. Clank. You know what really grinds my gears? When people refer to memes made in 2005. I know this Pokemon makes sense, and I've defended inanimate object Pokemon in the past because I believe that these Pokemon just co-evolved with humans and slowly began to look like man-made objects in order to camouflage. So that's not what bothers me about this Pokemon. My problem is that Clank is just 2 gears, and then they just repeat the same bad design twice. I get that each evolution adds another type of gear, but how am I supposed to grow an attachment to a creature that has this face? It doesn't look alive. In fact, it looks like it's in pain. So I love the idea of a gear Pokemon, but I don't like how they executed it. Magearna is the superior gear Pokemon. Number 3. Slurpuff. I like Swirlix a lot, it's a cool concept, and technically combining meringue with a dog is an original idea, so Slurpuff has some credit, but that doesn't mean I like it. There's just no way a Pokemon like this would naturally develop under any circumstance. Cuteness is an acceptable evolution tactic, but looking like a dessert doesn't help it survive or anything. Vanillish makes more sense because it could be argued that it's more of an icicle that resembles an ice cream cone, and if anybody wants to eat it, it would just freeze them instantly. Slurpuff is domesticated though, so maybe one day a baker decided to breed dogs that look like meringue. Even if that's the explanation for this Pokemon, it still looks goofy. But now I'm just taking cheap shots. Who cares if I think this Pokemon shouldn't exist? It doesn't affect the existence of all the other Pokemon I love. We should just take Slurpuff and push it somewhere else. That way I don't have to look at it. Number 2. Simipour. You ready for me to unleash my rage? What the hell is that? Simipour is the only Pokemon I think does not look like a pocket monster. It really does not matter if you agree because this is a gut feeling right here. I just hate its design. I'll give Simisear a dishonorable mention for looking bad as well, but this takes the cake. It just looks too silly. This is ridiculous. And now, before I reveal my least favorite Pokemon, I want to show you my spectrum of Pokemon, ranging from my favorite to least favorite. At the beginning, we have a Pokemon that I love, then a Pokemon I really like, then a Pokemon I kinda like, and if you see right here, that is my number 10 entry, indicating that the Pokemon around this part of the spectrum aren't even close to disliked. As we go down, we see that I don't dislike the Pokemon on this list until number 5, and then I only hate my number 2 and 1 spot. And number 1 is... Aromatisse. This Pokemon doesn't even deserve any cool animations. What can I say? When Spritzee was revealed 3 years ago, I was excited to get a nice flamingo Pokemon. And when I saw Aromatisse, it may have been the most disappointing Pokemon I've ever encountered. Sometimes I think I'm too harsh on it, but then I realize how much I hate the pose it's in. Get over yourself, Aromatisse! It's supposed to be a dancer, but this thing looks awkward. I understand how it's sad to dislike a Pokemon based on its official art, but this piece of art was my first impression of it, and it has never shaken off. Plus, it makes this pose in all forms of media. But I really think this is subjective, so if you like Aromatisse, I don't think there's anything wrong with you at all. I'm glad that someone can give it some love. But keep in mind that I still like this Pokemon the least, and I'm not trying to persuade you to hate it. But if you enjoyed this video, give some love to the like button, and subscribe if you haven't. Please follow me on Facebook and Twitter because it really is something I would love everybody to do. Check out these videos here for more top 10s, and I'll see you guys very soon.